When I'm not busy making videos about how messed up the system is, I'm busy helping people get off the system. Check this out. This is my most recent project. I help a friend get fully off-grid. He is 100% self-reliant, produces all his own power, and isn't reliant on the grid at all. Here's his greenhouse in front of me. He produces all of his own food. And here's why I was hired. I put in 3 of these massive solar arrays. Each of them pivot according to the angle of the sun at that time of year. And we have roughly 20,000 kilowatts of power. So anything to do with power is my specialty. So here's how it works. The power gets collected by the sun and it comes into these panels here. So after the power is collected in the panels, it combines in this combiner box and heads back to the electronics that produce the usable power. And then back here is where all of the power comes in, and we have charge controllers that load up these batteries. These 3 things on the ground here are the battery banks, and then it inverts by a couple of controllers and changes to usable AC power. So after all these electronics change the power to usable power, it comes to your standard household panel, and from there it branches out across the property. So from there, he can do things like charge his Tesla and drive around without paying for gas. That is a beautiful thing. And in this system, we've built in a bunch of redundancy. He has a backup generator. This is what I was up here doing this trip, just installing this generator. This generator gets an automatic signal when the system is getting low batteries. It tells it to fire up. It comes online and starts pumping electrons into the system. So from here, I am taking my power line and I go underground, and then all of my lines go underground and come back to the central point where we deal with all of the power inputs and outputs. This system used to have a couple of wind turbines, but they do not produce enough power to be worthwhile, so we're taking those out. At some point, I'll be climbing this tower and chopping those down. And then I have a lot of standard wiring, like motion lights, so when you come into the greenhouse here, all the lights turn on automatically and you can see your way around their indoor food forest. I also hook up things like blower fans that put air between the 2 layers of poly and create a double greenhouse effect. This is a climate battery that takes the hot air and pumps it into the ground, and the ground acts as a battery storing the heat. So that's a little taste of what I do in my day-to-day business. I've been doing electrical for over 20 years.